Donald Trump is going all out to stop the war between Russia and Ukraine. But the US isn't just playing peacemaker. It also wants the spoils of what many call a proxy war, Ukraine's rare minerals.
I didn't let the ministers sign the relevant agreement because, in my view, it is not ready to protect us, our interests.
Modestly successful comedian, President Zelensky talked the United States of America into spending $350 billion to go into a war that basically couldn't be won.
What are rare minerals and how much of it does Ukraine actually have? Can Ukraine and the US seal a rare minerals deal amid the Russia war? Besides reparations, why has the US set its eyes on Kiev's rare minerals? I'm Ananya Datta. Let's get some answers. Mining World claims Ukraine has deposits of 117 of the world's 120 most used industrial minerals. Government estimates suggest the country is home to 10% of the world's lithium reserves. Estimates vary of Ukraine's mineral wealth value. In interviews with the New York Post and Fox News, Trump has estimated that the country's critical minerals and rare earths are worth between $500 million to $500 billion. However, none of that has been mined so far, and much of Ukraine's mineral wealth remain untapped. Additionally, some of the estimates about the country's deposits are based on Soviet-era surveys. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky reportedly brought up the idea to Donald Trump last fall when he was a presidential candidate. However, he wants future American and European security guarantees tied to any deal with mineral reserves. Proposals, counter-proposals, and several barbs aside, this is where it stands as of now. The deal still looks uncertain after Kiev thwarted Washington's draft proposal to exchange continued US military support for half of Ukraine's mineral resources. Zelensky rejected the proposed US deal, saying the draft agreement did not provide security guarantees for Ukraine.
The war cost us $200 billion. This is us, the people of Ukraine, the taxpayers, and $200 billion is the United States of America and the European Union. And this is what, let's say, we are talking about weapons, a package of $100 billion weapons in total. And the United States is a separate issue. The United States of America gave us $20 billion weapons and 10.5 more. This is direct financial assistance to the budget. There were some separate programs. Of course, we are grateful for all these humanitarian programs, but it cannot be $200 billion. All of this cost $200 billion and give us back $200 billion of minerals or something, etc. This is not a serious conversation. However, I say again that we are ready for a serious document. We need security guarantees. You need it. We are happy to invest it. We share it depending on the investment and the investment objects. Withdraw interest and no questions asked. You earn it. But we need security guarantees.
Zelensky's resistance left Trump fuming. On February 19th, Trump even accused Zelensky of breaking the rare earth deal, despite no such deal having been signed yet.
The United States has spent $200 billion more than Europe, and Europe's money is guaranteed. They get their money back. It's a form of a loan. Nobody knows that. I know that. I said, why isn't somebody saying, we do it the same way? And we spent much more money. We have to equalize. But while the United States gets nothing back, so they get their money back. It's a loan. We just give our money. And we had a deal based on rare earth and things, but they broke that deal.
On February 20th, US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent accused Zelensky of backing out from signing the minerals deal in Munich. Meanwhile, Reuters report claims the Trump administration may attempt to ink a simplified minerals pact first and then iron out the details later. So So why does Trump want Ukraine's rare minerals? And which minerals will Trump be interested in? American investors may be eyeing two critical minerals: titanium, which is used in aerospace and defense industries, and lithium, which is used in electronics that we all use. While Trump has projected the rare minerals deal as payback of sorts for the aid worth billions sent by the US to Ukraine during the war, there is another crucial factor. China has established a chokehold on the supply of rare earths over the past 4 decades, with the West trying to play catch-up. China holds a third of the world's rare earth metal reserves, according to the United States Geological Survey, and is by far the world's largest producer. Trump's interest in Ukraine's critical minerals may lie in China's current dominance over the rare earth elements market. China controls 70% of global rare earth mining capacity and 90% of processing capacity. According to the IEA, China's share of refining is about 35% for nickel, 50 to 70% for lithium and cobalt, and nearly 90% for rare earth elements. What's alarming is that in 2024, that's last year, China accounted for almost half the world's rare earth elements reserves. And this is according to US Geological Survey data. With Trump instigating a trade war of sorts with Beijing with imposition of steep tariffs on Chinese goods, US's access to critical minerals may potentially be under threat. However, many experts believe that Ukraine's rare minerals may not be the answer. Marko Papic, Senior Vice President and Chief Strategist at BCA Research, told Fortune, and I'm quoting from him, "Much of Ukraine's rare earth deposits are in Russian-occupied territories. Besides, the US does not need rare earth deposits. It needs them refined somewhere other than China." Ultimately, the entire project seems a bit like something out of Civilization 4, the computer game. Now, Ukraine claims over 20% of its mineral wealth sits under territories currently controlled by Russia. We Build Russia, which is a Kiev-based think tank, estimates that Russia's occupation has rendered 40% of Ukraine's metallic mineral riches inaccessible. Meanwhile, whatever the dollar value of Ukraine's rare earths, developing the infrastructure to extract and process these minerals will be a long and challenging process. Additionally, while Ukraine is home to considerable rare earths and minerals, it does not currently produce rare earths, nor has it produced rare earths in recent decades. This is according to the US Geological Survey as well. So can Trump strong-arm Ukraine into giving the US access to its rare minerals? Zelensky or Putin? Who will play spoiler in Donald Trump's quest for Ukrainian minerals? And will access to Ukrainian rare minerals give the US some relief as China surges ahead? We will have to wait to get the answers to these questions.
What the changes in India's population and the differential growth rates.
This city has emerged.
We have a very special guest on the record.
The interview.
The role that the US side played at that point of time.
पूरी दुनिया की नजर.
Assume my phone is tapped. I can probably say hello to Mr. Modi.
आपके भारत पर है.
Episode of Know Your Candidate.
The rising confidence of India under Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Communist China is the greatest threat.
There will come a day that we will see far more radical extremist.
I'm still a little perplexed by why we.
Your daily dose of news from India and across the world. Cutting-edge views and analysis. Tune into HT videos. Click on the bell icon to subscribe.